Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. The coronavirus vaccination campaign for the children aged 5 to 11 years started in educational institutions. The High Court cleared the way for the law enforcers to arrest the government officials in the criminal cases without permission from their authorities. Bangladesh has generously hosted Rohingyas for the last 5 years, but one country cannot and shouldn't bear this responsibility alone, says IOM. The coronavirus vaccination campaign for the children aged 5 to 11 years started in educational institutions at the city corporations across the country today. The children are being inoculated with the Pfizer vaccine with an 8-week gap between the two shots. The vaccination will continue for the 14 days across the country, while 1,860 teams will work every day to administer the vaccine. The vaccination will continue from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. non-stop in the vaccination centers set up in the schools. As part of the government plan, the inoculation of the children aged 5 to 11 years will continue in 465 wards in the 55 zones of the 12 city corporations areas across the country from today. The High Court today ruled that no prior permission from the higher authorities would be needed to arrest any government official if accused in a criminal case. A division bench of justice of the High Court comprising Justice Mujibur Rahman Mia and Justice Qazi Muhammad Izarul Haq Akumdo announced the verdict this morning. The court also declared the section number 41 of WAM to the Public Service Act 2018 was illegal on the ground that if it violated the Constitution and fundamental right as well. As part of the provision in the question, the arrest of the public servants on the criminal charges related to the official duties could only be made with prior permission from the government or employing the authorities before a court accepted the charges. The court opined that such provisions in the Public Service Act 2018 served indemnity a particular group and encouraged the corruption as well. The National Organization of Migration IOM today said that although Bangladesh has generously hosted the Rohingyas for the last 5 years, one country cannot and shouldn't bear this responsibility alone. The IOM has called on the international community to take the urgent necessary actions to ensure the long-term development and sustainable humanitarian assistance for the Rohingyas and host their communities. The organization also said the international and the local humanitarian actors must continue to support the response led by the government of Bangladesh to enable the Rohingya to live a dignified life while in displacement. Nearly 1 million Rohingyas remain in congested camps. More than half of a dozen of them are children. August 25 marks the 5 years since the first of the 100 of the thousands of the Rohingya men, women, boys and girls fled the violence and the persecution in the Myanmar and sought the shelter in what is now in the world's largest refugee settlement in the Cox's Bazar of Bangladesh. Health Minister Zahid Malik today said that the pharmacies in Dhaka will remain open 24 hours a day. He made the comment during the meeting at the Secretariat in Dhaka. The minister said that there is no bar on the sale of the medicine and the pharmaceutical item after midnight. He added that the drug stores would be allowed to remain open for the last 24 hours. Zahid Malik said if the city corporation wants to anything different, they will have to see it with the government. Earlier in the Dhaka week, Dhaka South City Corporation DNCC Mayor Sheikh Fazle Nur Taposh said that staying open till the midnight is enough time for the pharmacies. The 12-hour nationwide strike enforced by the Left Democratic Alliance LDA protesting the recent price hike of the daily necessaries and essentials was observed across the country. The shutdown started from the 6 a.m. in the morning and continued till 12 at noon. Party activities carried out the several prosecutions and processions around the 7 in the morning. The Shahbag and the Polton area amid the police presence. The main event took place at the Purana Palcham. The strikers observed the strike through the blocking roads and the chanting the slogan also ended through the protest rally in the presence of the huge number of the police personnel. Speaker at the rally demanded the immediate reductions in the prices of the fuel oil, fertilizers, and essential commodities. Hospitals, hotel, pharmacies, vehicles, and engaged in the providing emergency services were kept out for the pursuit of the strike. Workers of the tea gardens in the Habiganj district today continued their strike, demanding an increase in the daily wages from Dhaka 120 to Dhaka 300. Programs like Human Chain, the protest meetings, and the processions continued inside the garden as well. Due to strike, owners of the 41 tea garden in the Chunarughat, Bahubal, Nabiganj, and the Madhupur are enduring huge loss every day. Habiganj Deputy Commissioner Isra Jahan, the police super S.M. Murad Ali, UNOs, and the public representatives continued holding the meeting in a bid to overcome the crisis. The tea workers said that they would continue their movement, a movement of the until our demand is met. Textiles and Jute Minister Ghulam Dastagir Ghazi today said that the productions of the jute product would be started by the leasing 10 mills. He also said that 2 jute mills have already started the producing product as well. The minister also said the process of leasing 3 more times in the jute mills are underway, following the government decision to resume the production of the closed jute mills across the country. Ghulam Dastagir made the comment to reporter while visiting cooperative jute mills at the Polash in the Norsingdi this afternoon. He also said that the step will create the new employment facilities and the government is determined to reopen all the closed mills within the 6 months. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now, news from abroad. 22 people were killed after a Russian rocket strike on the Ukrainian train station on the day marking 6 months since the Moscow's invasion began. 50 others were injured. President Volodymyr Zelensky announced the strike in the middle of the UN Security Council meeting. He also said that the learned of the strike in the Kapline in the Dnipropetrovsk region as part of the preparing to speak to the Security Council. Russia has so far made no comment. Ukraine spent Wednesday marking its annual Independence Day, and Zelensky had also previously said that Russia might do something cruel to disrupt the celebration. Meanwhile, Ukrainian Parliament Commissioner for the Human Rights Dmitry Levinet said that the Russian military killed 3 Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant workers and denied the 26 more during its occupation of the facility. Russia accused the detainees of passing on the information about the movement and location of Russian military equipment in the region. Myanmar authorities today detained the United Kingdom's former ambassador to the country, Vicky Bowman. Her husband and the prominent artist Hithan Lin was also arrested. Local media said that the pair had been taken to the Yangon's inland prison. According to the diplomatic source, Vicky Bowman, who served as an envoy from the 2002 to 2006, was arrested on Wednesday in the commercial hub Yangon. Prior to the serving as ambassador, the Bowman was also the second secretary in the UK's embassy from 1990 to 1993. A UK embassy spokesperson said that his country is concerned by the arrest of the British women in Myanmar. He also said that they are in contact with the local authorities and are providing the consular assistance. US President Joe Biden announced that he will refuse and will forgive $10,000 in federal student debt for the most borrower fulfilling a campaign pledge and delivering the financial relief a million of the Americans. Biden will cancel up to the $20,000 for recipient in the Pell Grants. In remark from the White House said on Wednesday afternoon, the president that both of these targeted actions are for the families who need it the most. The relief will be limited to Americans earning under the $1,25,000 per year of the $2,50,000 for married couples also had for the household. The relief is also capped at the amount of the borrower's outstanding eligible debt per the Education Department. The temporary student loan pause will also be extended a final time until the December 31st of this year. Taiwan today unveiled plans for a record boost in the defending expanding weeks after China staged the unprecedented military exercises around the democratically and government also in inland. The 13.9% spending increase, which includes funding for the new fighter jet and other equipment, would take place a total number of the defense budget to about 50% of the total government expenditure. President Tsai Ing-wen's the government announced the budget, making a sharp rise in spending that compared with the increase of about 4 to 5% in the recent years. He also said that the self-ruled island determination of the defend its sovereignty would not change due to the pressure or threat. At the same time, he also said that a responsible member of the international community, Taiwan will not provoke incidents nor escalate the conflict. Now, sports news. Hong Kong beat United Arab Emirates UAE by the 8 wickets to qualify for the Asia Cup 2020 T20 tournament. Hong Kong chased down a target of 148 to secure its third successive win in the Asia Cup qualifiers held at the Al Amirat Cricket Stadium in Muscat, Oman. Ahead of the final league match of the Hong Kong and UAE were cooked the must-win situation after the Kuwait's whirlwind win over the Singapore helped and to take the late net run rate. The win bought Hong Kong's ticket to the UAE, where its fuel and wind torture alongside India and Pakistan in Group A. Its first match will be against India on August 31st in Dubai, followed by the Pakistan in Sharjah on September 2. Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. The coronavirus vaccination campaign for the children aged 5 to 11 years started in educational institutions. The High Court cleared the way for the law enforcers to arrest the government officials in criminal cases without permission from their authorities. Bangladesh has generously hosted Rohingyas for the last 5 years, but one country cannot and shouldn't bear this responsibility alone, says IOM. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.